G'day everyone, my name's Chris, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for tuning back in. And hey, for those who are new, welcome. So I purchased these lights just before Christmas on special, and I've been using them for now about 6 weeks or so. So let's get into a quick unboxing and into why I got them, the troubles I had, and if I have any buyer's remorse. Maybe. So when you get your box of 4, they all come nicely wrapped in plastic to protect them from the elements. So let's deglove them. Up next, taking the lid off, you're immediately presented with the top of the bulb. That's plastic, so there's no harm in actually touching it. And that reveals the bulb itself. A little foam protector which nests and holds the bulb up. And a little tiny instruction manual with basically regulatory information. And well, that's it. Now despite the name, these things are beefy, large and well hefty. Weighing like a decent 144 grams, you can get either Edison 27 or Bayonet 22. And they're 60 by 60 and about 105 millimeters in height. So in terms of comparison, they're just actually a little bit bigger than normal LED bulbs. And in general, well, maybe mini refers to that they're smaller than Lifx's other lights. So if you're thinking of installing them to a small enclosure, maybe measure first before ordering them, or just pick them up from your local retailer so that returns are easy to do. The pearl white texture is a good grade of plastic, and the housing not only like the 9 watts of LED lights, but also the Wi-Fi smarts, which I'll get into shortly. So for those who perhaps are new to smart bulbs, welcome. I hope I can convince you to drop some cash on these things, as they're pretty cool. And to not only say that they'll dim when your lights come into a room, or to turn on rather, you can also change the look and feel of your place. And if you need to make it warmer, cooler, orange, reds, blues, you name it. You can find a color and a mood to suit you, and smart bulbs are awesome at that. And these ones are great that they say they've got 16 million color choices, and not to forget a wide range of whites from like 2500K to 9000K. Compatible with all of your smart home platforms like Apple HomeKit, Google Home, Amazon Alexa, and Microsoft's Cortana. And not to mention a lot of integrated apps like This and That and Stringify, plus many others. To connect them, you need a constant supply of electricity to them. So that means that when you install the bulb, you need to turn it on and keep it on. That way, the bulb stays connected to the Internet of Things. The second thing you need is a Wi-Fi router. So now for me, I knew that this group of lights was always going to be a challenge for several reasons. Firstly, due to distance between my Google Wi-Fi points and the most distant light some 25 meters from it. Plus, I also think that the garage door, made of aluminium, doesn't help signal transmission either. So, to overcome this, I lashed out and purchased yet another Google Wi-Fi point to halve this distance and improve connection between them. It's a big but.
You touched the button.
Unlike Hue bulbs, which run on a Zigbee standard and connect to a bridge that then connects to a Wi-Fi router, Lifx bulbs connect directly with your Wi-Fi on the 2.4 GHz spectrum, particularly on the B, G, or N specifications, and like almost all Wi-Fi routers will have these, but Lifx bulbs don't pack in a 5 GHz chip, nor better yet, in my opinion, AC Wi-Fi standard, which enables beam forming and faster speeds. This is definitely a weakness of Lifx products and in general, and users can sometimes have connection issues, and I'll delve into that shortly. So after putting the bulb in and giving the power, this is where the fun starts. Connecting the bulb to your network. To do this, you need to use the app, which is highly regarded actually as one of the best in the business and very intuitive to use. However, where all goes off the rails is getting the bulb into your app and onto your network. Now I've experienced this before with my Lifx LED strip lights, so if you want to see that, by the way, just click up there somewhere, wherever it might be. And what will happen is that one light, or if you're unlucky, a few of them, will refuse to join your network, or it will get some way along the journey and stall. And it might stop responding altogether, meaning you have to do like a hard reset on it and start all over again. And maybe then go through your Wi-Fi settings, connect directly to the bulb, work around the app, turn it off and on again. It gets ridiculous. And you know what? This bulb here, this bulb here, 40 minutes to try and get it onto my network. I was ready to throw this bulb against a really hard surface, but no, I persisted. I had to reset it several times, move it indoors thinking it was actually the distance from the Wi-Fi point to it, but no, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And hey folks, can you help me answer this please? And questions and comments are very welcome. Why is it that when you've got like 4 Wi-Fi points in your house, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's bathed in Wi-Fi awesomeness, why do these bulbs connect to the most furthest point? Like, check this out. On the top of your screen, you'll see the 4 lights, and on the bottom, the Google Wi-Fi each one's connected to. 2 things of note here. 1, the connection strength is generally like 2 out of 4. Why? Well, 3 of them are actually connected to the TV Wi-Fi point. What the? Seriously, let me show you how far that is from the garage left all the way through this front door, past this Wi-Fi point, finding its connection here, the most distant connection it could take. And PS, at one point I swapped all the Google Wi-Fis around to see if it was maybe a dud one, and I powered them all off but the hallway point to try to push them to that one. But after last week's power blackout, the lights found these Wi-Fi points and well, I just can't be bothered redoing that exercise. So please, if there is someone out there who can help me with this, is it maybe the lights or is it Google Wi-Fi? Please, put your really helpful advice down below. Consider subscribing whilst you're there and maybe giving the video a like. It really helps and supports the channel and enables me to keep making these types of videos. Well, where was I? Right, so you've got the light in your app and you can control it. Yes! Now for a bit of fun and a quick demo, which by the way, I've created a complete walkthrough of the app, so if you want to dive deeper into it, feel free to watch this video up here and maybe do it now, do it later in the video, I don't mind, but let's get into the demo. As you can see at the bottom, you've got your lights, you've got your colors and your whites, as well as your themes, including your primaries, and also you've got your effects, and then last little feature which I'll just talk briefly about right now, and that's so you can actually get the lights to automatically turn on and turn off at dusk and dawn and things like that. So you can actually control the lights in groups, and this is set up by yourselves, and you can obviously turn on all the lights together, does that, and turn them on all together. So let's just turn the home theater off just to stop confusing things, and let's look at the front, and now you'll notice what is going to happen is that all the lights change together. Get a nice little party going on if you want to, but I'll tell you about effects and stuff later. Conversely, you can change over to, let's just crank all the lights up, all the lights together. So very customizable, you can definitely find whatever color you want to, and notice how fast they actually respond. Pretty cool, eh? So let's go over why you might want to splash the dosh on these and other smart lights. Now if you're like me and enjoy decorating your house for various events like Halloween, Christmas, friends coming over, you name it, it's great being able to set the mood differently for each occasion. No more swapping out pre-colored bulbs like of yesteryear, no need to do that. They can be linked to apps like If This and That or Stringify, so my situation where you can set them to maybe turn on at sunset each day or stay on for how many hours you want and then turn off at the set time. You just set and forget and it's great, especially the amount of time that the sun shines and varies all around the year. Or another use I've done is like turn them on when it's nighttime when my video doorbell detects motion. I'll do a separate video on this, so be sure to check that out soon. You can control them from anywhere literally in the world, either via your app or like a signed-in assistant like Google. So check this out. Hey Google, turn all the lights on. You can have the lights automatically turn on when you get close to your house. If you hear a bump in the night, you can turn all the lights on. Hey Google, turn on all the lights. You get the idea. It feels very futuristic and something I'm grateful for, like coming home when my hands might be full and I need help with the lights. Hey Google, turn the kitchen light on. Have I convinced you yet? Well, more than likely, like if you watched it to this point, I think you are, right? But are they any good? So let's get the bad stuff out the way first. And the first one obviously is price. These bulbs I got on special for $186. Now, they're normally around the mid $200 mark, and if you're lucky to get them cheaper, great. But in my case, they worked out to be like $46.50 each, and when compared to conventional LED bulbs of the same wattage, that's about 8 times the price. Ouch. Next, connection issues. They can be difficult to add to your home and then sometimes to connect to. But once done and if everything's stable, they respond quickly and will behave as expected. Now, does this happen with all smart bulbs? Oh, you bet. But I think it would be good if Lifx considered using a bridge like Hue does. Now, remember before how I noted that the components of the Hue system require the bulb, bridge, and your Wi-Fi? Well, as cumbersome as that sounds, the trick these bulbs have is that each bulb actually communicates to the next one, and the next, and so on. And this daisy chain that it creates is a mesh cable network of actually having 64,000 devices connected to it. Like, wow, one bridge, 64,000 bulbs. That then frees your network up, and the lights can actually then probably have a stable environment into which they work from. One final con, and not to harp on too much about the competition, Lifx doesn't have a rich ecosystem of sensors and switches like Hue does and other competitors. There are workarounds where you can Frankenstein components together and use if this and that or stringify, and then they trigger things on your Lifx bulbs. But I feel that this shouldn't be necessary, and Lifx can capitalize on this if they want some extra douche. Hey? My wife has also said on many occasions she doesn't like smart lights because you just can't turn them off and on like an ordinary bulb. You actually can, but that defeats the purpose. If I could be bothered to hack a system together, I could replace the old switches with these smart ones. Hue. And that normalcy and simplicity would reign supreme again, but no, I shall wait. So what about the pros? Well, they output a lot of light and run very efficiently at 9 watts, 800 lumens at 100% brightness, and 0.5 of a watt in standby mode. Potentially, they could last 20,000 hours at 3 hours a day, 365 days a year, equates to like 18 years before needing to be replaced. Unlike Hue, there's no additional hardware needed. The app is great with lots of features and so many whites, it's ridiculous. You will find your spirit color with those millions to choose from. The preset themes and animations make holiday time and rediscovering the app a real joy. You can do a lot with them and add them to your smart home and third-party apps to unleash their full potential. And if you accidentally flick the power off to your lights, they will remember Wi-Fi settings and reconnect to it when you restore power to them. And pleasantly, if some buffers treats them like a 2018 bulb, the light will function like a traditional one and turn on to a nice warm light. Nice. So there you have it, folks. The Lifx Mini Color Wi-Fi bulbs. Am I happy with my purchase? Yes, absolutely. They do everything I needed them and more. And I can't wait for Lifx to bring out some great peripherals and add even more value to my smart home.